Taste Daily. Taste the Daily.
Holidays nale, adu namma GT Holidays da. South India's #1 travel brand.
Theatre to Rajini itself, people go berserk. When you sing 100 Rajini, people are going to go mad. But I forgot I'm a cinematographer. How to execute it? Thank you so much.
Sir, hi sir.
Hi Ram.
Thank you so much for accepting to do this. I know we have been talking for months now. Finally, we have an occasion. Devara is releasing in a couple of days. Thank you so much. There are a lot of cinephiles, movie buffs, even film students, right? Cinematography students, there are a lot of people here. It's highly likely that they know a lot more about cinematography than I do, but it's okay, I'll try. Sir, you have stated in numerous interviews that one of your major inspirations is this Polish cinematographer called
Janusz Kamiński.
He has worked with Spielberg since, I think, 93.
Yeah, almost films. More than 20 years he's been working with 20-25 years.
Schindler's List, Private Ryan, and more recently even The Fabelmans was shot by him. How did his work inspire you or influence you?
Basically, I passed out from film school, and then see, now you have access to technologies in your iPhone and all this stuff. But those days we need to take our bike and go to libraries, read books. That's how we get the information. I used to subscribe American Cinematographer. First of all, I will thank my guru Rajiv Menon. He's a genius in cinematography. He was an inspiration for me, and today I'm in this position. One of the reasons is the discipline which I learned from him. I worked in a movie called Bombay, Mani Ratnam's film.
Yeah,
that's the only one film I worked. I became a DOP. Okay, Kamay, what's your question? Sorry.
How did his work inspire you?
Yeah, Janusz Kamiński. Basically, Saving Private Ryan really hit me hard. Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan, because see, we have watched a lot of war films. War will be shot from a distance and massive action take place. But this Saving Private Ryan was shot from a combat man's point of view. The camera is so immersive. You get into the battlefield. You feel you're there in the war field. The blasts happen. So that the candid capture really impacted me. And the way he sees light. Light gives an emotion. Light gives a feel. When a light hits an object, it gives a different feel. A straight light gives a different meaning. A backlight gives a different meaning. Completely subdued, soft light gives a different meaning. So, he was an inspiration for me. Continuously, even the Bridge of Spies, the movie Munich, you can watch. His style is something unique. Though he uses one or times a double backlight also sometimes, but then he feels the light has to be really, you don't have to really follow the old classical Hollywood style or the European style, just having a soft window light. He just gives emotion through light. So that was inspiring me. Even we are in a commercial cinema, and moreover, I shoot very fast. He also shoots very fast. That's inspiration. On the set, in one of his interview, he told, we have to keep everything engaging. The speed has, that's what Aishwarya Rai, when she completed Robo, in her press meet, she said, Randy made everything comfortable because this film Robo involves so much of technology. Art department takes time, CG takes time. Again, cinematographer takes such a long time for lighting. Then we'll never be connected.
Yeah.
I shot like that. So everybody were connected and the movie went on fast. That's one of the reason, I guess.
Sir, let's start with Rangasthalam sequence. How many days was it shot for? And it's entirely shot in, it is set in night. And you had to use natural sources like torches and all this. How did you manage the lighting?
They're trying to kill his brother. Brother goes and comes out. So originally Suku had staged it in in the village through the lane city. Through the village lanes. Original plan.
Oh, okay.
Then I suggested Suku, shall we shoot this in the grassland? Suku is one such director. Immediately understands, which we both sync very well. I thought it will be more mysterious to shoot in this grassland because this grassland plays a character in the entire movie. To enter to this village, you need to reach this grassland. This is treated as a killing field. In the opening of the movie also, you find the ring, the watches.
Rajiv Kanakala is killed there only.
Yeah. So everything happens here. In the climax, pre-climax, when I suggested, Suku wrote his entire script, shifted it to this grass. Generally, any director wouldn't do that. But Suku and me vibe really well. Not only here, right from Arya, Jagadam, something interesting when I tell, immediately he thinks it for a while and he say, okay, this is for the movie's best. And so we plan. These guys are hiding like a hyena. They're not like tigers. Hyenas are hiding to get onto the prey. They jump and attack. That is a concept. And it should be very mysterious. So I thought if you, instead of putting multiple lights and making it ready, and originally we had planned to shoot in Rajahmundry. That is the place where we shot the village. All tall grass and beautiful location. But the forest people, they refused to give permission. The police and the local permit, they didn't give the permission to shoot. Then Suku told, what do we do? Suku, can you get those grasses to Hyderabad, I told. The producers had some 4 to 5 acres of land outskirts of Hyderabad. Then, considering the cost, it was only some 5 to 10 lakhs or something to bring the grass. The producers arranged it, thanks to my 3 people. And then, brother, are you sure? Yeah, Suku. He generally trusts me like anything. I wanted to have a moonlight feel. So I just got a 200 feet industrial crane, rigged some 3 or 4 M90 lights and put a huge diffusion.
M90 are lights?
M90, ARRI M90 lights, huge big lights which are, the output is massive. I didn't want to put one small light source, I want to give a moonlight. So that moon also, I didn't want to give a strong backlight, so covered it with the diffusion cloth. It is hitting from a very long distance. So what happens, this is your grass field. When the light comes from here, it gives a beautiful even backsoft. So the mood is, you don't get a fill light. But my assistants, when they took the meter, it was showing 0. Because I put a diffusion. If I removed it, it looked like a regular backlight. That backsoft gave that impact. And I had some torchlighters. What I did, my camera native ISO is only 800. I shot with the red helium. They launched it newly for that movie. I bought it.
Okay, it was launched in 2018, back then.
17 or 18. They just launched the camera. It had a wonderful dynamic range. So I thought, let me test and put it to the test. So instead of shooting in 800 ISO, I pushed it to 2000 ISO.
So generally, what is the limit that you go for?
No, 800 is a native ISO, which gives a decent result of 800,000. But 2000 is pushing beyond the limit. Still, it delivered good quality. See, previously when we used to shoot in film cameras, we see it in a different way. The film sees in a different way. We need to pump lights according to the movie. That is understanding the contrast ratio, a key light, fill light and all. Whereas digital sees in a different way. It is able to see deep into the shadows also. When you shoot, the extreme low light capacity of the camera sensor, I wanted to explore in this sequence. And we tried it. Suku also choreographed it very well. And then Ramcharan performed like a killer. Unbelievable. Those small touches Suku gave after hitting, he checks it with the ear. He's a deaf guy. So those are beautiful moments. We enjoyed it. Okay, 50% of the fight got over. Suddenly what happened? Heavy rain like this started. Brother, next 15 days, what do we do? Suku told. Then I called Ramakrishna, the production designer. Rama, can you just put this in Annapurna Studios interior? Sir, interior ante problem is sir, easy sir. Adu manaku sand fill up chesi petale ante kada sir. But lighting is tricky. Here it's a 4 acres property. You bring a light from top and give a nice soft sheen. Inside a studio, your catwalk is only 40 feet higher, 35 feet higher. The distance lesser. So then I started, okay, come on, let's do. I lit up in a way. Suku came to the set. Suku was asking me, brother, are you sure? Will it look the same? Then he came to the set. It was unbelievable. He saw the monitor. It looked the same. Rajahmundry and this Hyderabad, the exterior and the studio looked same. So then the shooting started. Charan also felt very happy shooting inside a floor with emotion, performance and other thing. That's how it happened.
So can you say which parts were shot in that outdoor and which one?
I won't say, you should find out.
No, we are not able to find out. So
No, even I don't remember because we shot some lot of long shots in the original location. I mean, the outskirt of Hyderabad, and then compact shots interior. All the end portions with the killing happens inside the set. I was switching over from Steadicam to gimbal. The low level moving shots, everything is shot with a gimbal, and the impact shot. And then I shot a lot of handheld also to feel the moment,
The jerk,
the energy, jerk, the shake and all. I tried to give it the handheld shot. So 3 camera combination I did, but I didn't put 3 cameras together. Only 2 cameras were always on shooting.
how many days was it shot for, sir?
I think 11 or 12 days. I don't remember exactly, but it came out really well. Everybody was appreciating for this sequence.
Sye Raa?
Sye Raa, okay. That was a very complicated movie. Reason it happens in 18th century, somewhere around 1820 or something it happens. So there is no electricity, no bulbs. So your only source is torches and fire torches, kakadalu or fire sources is the only thing. Surendra Reddy came and told me, generally night effect, these kind of period film, they shoot with one candlelight, one baby or senior light, they'll put it. This is he told me 1,000 people are coming. That too, night effect exterior. And the stunt choreographer was from Greg Powell from London. It's all massive setup. It's all people with cannon, horses. They go towards the fort, and it's a big rampage. I mean, havoc is happening there. I again wanted to light up in a different way. The fort is, I tried to light up with a fire source. So even though you put a cinema light, that fire effect source won't be justifiable. So we got some 500 gas cylinders.
Oh my God.
Rigged it completely, connected to the fire torches, operated through dimmers, so that like a gas cylinder how you use in a house. So those were lighting up the big massive fort. And I got my moonlight not like Rangasthalam, the Rangasthalam experience I had, but this was like 1,000 people and massive setup. I was using a tracking car and a drone above in a night effect exterior. Imagine the plight of a cinematographer. That too shooting in a low light condition. I wanted to give that low light because the fire will be exposed only with your low light thing. So I got some 3 massive industrial crane, placed it some around 1,000 meters away from the scene. Similar way, I just overlapped the lights and got a beautiful diffusion and blue light for the people. That's a moonlight. It looked, even on the location, the Greg Powell, the stunt master, told, "Do you guys nominate for Oscar and all?" Well, no, I didn't do that much, but no, it looks awesome, man. Killer, he told me. It was a good compliment from him. Because night effect exterior with such low light condition, fire, and you have always 3 cameras. Generally, cinematographers run away in this night effect with the 3 cameras with the extreme low light condition. I just went on a thing and did that. It came out really well.
And one of my favorite sequences from your filmography. See, I had to pick from one Nenokkadine which one, because there are 3-4 sequences. One is the interval sequence. One is the final, the confrontation with Nazar in that whole white setup. I want you to tell me about both.
Okay.
So let's start with the interval sequence, because it's a compact space, right?
Yeah.
The interval sequence, that bathroom. So how did you guys like crack the shot division? And there are multiple, angles in it.
Yeah.
And once Mahesh Babu realizes that he's actually there, the camera starts, it starts capturing his anxiety, and also there is a lot of play within that compact space. So how did you guys come up with that?
That was an interesting sequence where Mahesh Babu Garu kills Kelly Dodge, the guy who comes in his dream and torments him. Every night, what a hero says in his dialogue is, "I don't remember my mother and father, but I remember the killers who come every night and disturb me in my dream." So, originally, that scene was planned in a car. Like Kelly Dodge comes here, meets the resort owner, and then he wants him, gets into the car. When he just starts the car, from behind you see Mahesh Babu just pulls the rope, and then the action happens. It was planned, it was written. Suku always writes 1-2 versions until he gets the right one. Then I just gave a suggestion. "Suku, can we shoot this in a bathroom, toilet, a resort toilet?" I suggested. "Why, brother?" he asked. "No, this killer has been tormenting him If they see head on, face to face, he'll feel the happiness of killing. No? Then Suku thought for a while. Then he told, let's not shoot today. After 2 days, we'll shoot. Then we got the permission of toilet. 5-star hotel toilet, Westin Hotel. It's a resort. Basically, he's a very rich big shot and they go to the resort. Suku's beautifully staged it like this. We shot it against a mirror, in a wash basin mirror. When he washes his face, suddenly he sees Kilda's moving in the reflection. So again, Malli Vachadu, but is he coming in a dream or live? That feeling, again, Suku will put one drama there.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. That's how it happened. The producers came to me, sir, taking Mahesh Babu garu inside toilet and shooting an interval portion. No, it looked good, please. And Suku also convinced. I used very minimal lights, just 2 lights, that's all. Small Kinoflow bulb and then 2 small dinky lights. Because the bathroom in a 5-star hotel ambient light was good. But the light was more, I started putting black chart with my gaffer, sticking black chart in the hotel ceiling and bringing the contrast.
Okay.
And I went on a candid way. Suku and me, we strike a wonderful balance. He explains the scene, then I tell, come on, let's practice the scene. While he's practicing, I try to get the right angles. Go put it low, and then sitting. That killing also happened so beautiful. Mahesh Garu performed unbelievable. It's one of his career best performance. And even the cinematography, Suku got his dialogues are so beautiful. That's how it happened. It's a goosebump moment shooting the scene. Mahesh Babu Garu entered that day. I will tell you the producer. Producer was scared whether he'll cancel the shooting, entering a toilet. So he opened came. Suku Garu, enti mana Randy Garu 5-star hotel bedroom chupincharu. He thought it will be a thing and he liked it. That's how we enjoyed. All of us, we got involved in the shot and we enjoyed the process. Film making is a process has to be enjoyed, not like shooting, alienated and.
So the confrontation at the end, the conversation that he has with Nazar at the end, that is also, it's very hard to control that. It's also a massive space. And it's whites.
Yeah.
And I think Sudeep Chatterjee once told this, cinematographer, he said that white is kind of cinematographer's enemy.
True.
So how did you guys, take over whites?
That sequence is a pretty tricky one. In the climax, it's a huge wall with glasses. So the reflectivity is so high, your actors can go easily silhouetted. Getting the right exposure was more tricky. In Robo, I shot with the chrome set, with the artist in Rajini sir, Aishwarya Rai in chrome. The floor is in chrome. The background wall is in chrome. Everything silver set. So pretty tough set. So that time I shot in film. So we had that old school discipline, following the Ansel Adams theory, having the exposure.
What theory?
Ansel Adams theory, setting a zone system. Where is your black? Where is your gray? Where is your white? How to keep your exposure within the parameters. That was a thing which we learned while shooting films. And then bringing contrast in that is so difficult because everything is a chrome. The chrome reflection is more, my skin looks silhouetted against the chrome easily. So controlling the exposure, controlling this, bringing is a big science altogether. This film was shot in red. But then again, it started forming moire patterns, moire patterns are formed and so difficult to shoot. And somehow we managed it, pushing the depth of field, like bringing it to 205. Lot of things. If I talk, it will go like one big class.
What is 205? I'm sorry, you might be knowing, I don't know.
It's a T-stop. Generally, if you shoot in a user 205, 28, 4, 5, 6, you have T-stop, control the depth of field.
Okay.
When you go in a 5.6, you get more depth of field. When you go full open the lens, you lose the depth, it becomes shallow depth of field. And the images have you get a bokeh with your lower...
bokeh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I start explaining, it will go for 1 hour. Let me come to something else. Okay. White shots are sometimes interesting, sometimes a nightmare to maintain. It depends on the lighting condition also. When you plan a white shot, I think mornings and evenings are best time to shoot. So the angle of light, the shadow pattern which it creates, all these are for the young budding cinematographers, that will be useful. Suddenly they leave you in a top light 11, 12 o'clock to shoot a white shot. It will be difficult because the entire world looks flat. Your artist will get eyeshadow, nose shadow. The contrast is not there. In fact, when I was filming Rangasthalam, I suggested Suku, because Samantha at that time, she was not well. After 11:30, we were shooting in the peak summer, scorching sun. Even anybody standing in summer at 10 o'clock, you will faint, 10, 11 o'clock. Such was the condition. So I suggested, Suku, let's shoot in the morning, 6 o'clock. 6:30 will be the first shot. Then Sharan also agreed, Samantha also agreed. We take the boat at 6 o'clock. We travel some 5 kilometers, reach the destination, wherever the location. Then start shooting the scene. From 6:30 or 7, we shoot until 11 o'clock. It's a typical Balu Mahendra style.
Okay.
Those days, the masters were shooting at that time. So 11 o'clock, I'll give a break. All the light man, everybody will be happy because they work hard. They go rest. Artists are also not feeling the heat. I give them time until 2:30. 2:30 when they come, it's like on tack, 20-20 match. 2:30 to 5:45, just shoot like anything. Camera ready, Suku, come on. Move, Samantha, come here. Sharan, come. That's how we shoot. Because we plan a scene, we had to, since we're giving a longer window for everybody, we can't miss the day. We can't shoot for one more day.
Yeah.
So I had to finish the scene within the time. And Suku felt it's a nice exercise. Beautiful. We get a beautiful visual. At the same time, we're able to shoot a lot of, generally what happens, morning, 9:30, 10, when the artists come, they put the camera, eat idli, dosa, pesaratu, whatever. Then again, 10:45, start the camera. By the time 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, you give a break. It all happens. Instead, we tried this. It really worked very well. And I also followed a scheme for Rangasthalam. Generally, filming in summer in that location with the digital camera is a tricky one. Okay. Because of the scorching sun, the sand gets burnt out. I was shooting against cornfield. Those were burning out. But I converted that into a positive element for the film. That was the look of the film. I said, I did a test shooting. I told Suku, every day we are trying to shoot in backlight this sequence. And the entire movie had that similar look, the backlight, brownish tone that helped in storytelling.
Superb. Sir, how specific are you about the equipment that you use? Is every choice that you make, the light, the camera, the lens, are they all driven by, their purpose in storytelling? Because you said that cinematography is art plus science. Yep. So how particular are you about, I want this lens, I want this camera only for this specific scene?
I mean, following the old school discipline, we do a test always because we came from negative background. So always the image is not seen. It's a latent image. In digital, at least you're seeing in your monitor. So every day after shooting, we don't know what is going to come, the final result. We go to the lab. We finish the shooting at 9 o'clock, then run to the lab at 11 o'clock, Prasad lab or Gemini lab. We process it. Sometimes when you're unable to go to the lab also, we call the grader, sir, how is it looking? Even not only me, senior cinematographers like Santosh Shivan or Rajiv Menon, everybody gets that high. And once the image, when we see, we get a high. Because it's a secret. It's every image is hidden. You're just seeing a latent image. Once you see the print, you get excited. Now even everybody, makeup, costume, everybody will come tell you a suggestion seeing the monitor. It's changed actually.
Do you like it?
I don't myself and director like to stay in a monitor or a video village where we not too many people come and see. Maybe assistant directors or the costume people, everybody will be given separate monitors. So they can see the hair is fallen like this, they can take it out, whatever. Or the background junior artist didn't come on timing, so they can do all those jobs. When we are intensely watching, when I see a frame, I just don't see the frame alone. I see the performance look, because I've been working with some good directors, and right from the beginning days, I worked with some good directors who saw performance. So for me, the performance excites.
Okay.
I worked with Bala. Bala is like Setu, Nanda. Even with a great actor like Vikram, if he's not satisfied, he'll go 15 takes, 16 takes, 17 takes. That kind of person. And then I learned so much inspired by Rajiv Menon's performance. I worked with him in advertisement films in Bombay. He's a master in storytelling, especially in commercials. Once we are shooting a commercial, she was a very famous model. She came from Bombay. Nothing against her. I'm just telling you. One of the topmost model. In that shot, I think it's a Sunsilk or some commercial. She has to take a dandelion in a nice, beautiful backlight. She takes a dandelion, she blows it. It just flies out. And that's a nice shot. We shot in 48 frames. About the advertisements those days. HTL, Intas, O&M, all the big agencies, the players will be having full chairs and they'll be watching the monitor. Even if it's a nice shot, they'll start pointing out something. This is wrong, that is good. That white is not this white, that's a different white. All these things will happen. So the model blew it. Rajiv said, I need a smile blowing. That girl immediately, how can I smile? And how, she told, either I can blow or smile. How do I do? Rajiv got pissed off. What do you mean? Come here. It was an RE3 camera. He took just watch the viewfinder. Nothing to hurt you. Please watch the viewfinder. He did it. He just blew and gave a smile. This is what performance is. So that day I got glued. Okay. So whenever I shoot, I see the performance of the actors. From then it went into me. Even while shooting a coffee commercial or something, I used to tell people, just putting a sugar and then coffee, mixing, all these shots might not come. The moment you hit your lip, you get a smile and happiness in the cup, that is the shot. So that shot, they won't remove the editing. That's what I see when I shoot an emotion or scene. I say, these won't come, man. Sometimes they get irritated. So the capturing the right moment, that's more important for a cinematographer. Not just beautiful frames. Just watching a beautiful frame, or that is one part. And that goes like a second nature. When you put the camera, automatically get a nice frame. But then seeing the performance, seeing the backdrop, even on a guy in an outfocus will start overacting. That will disturb you. So all this we need to see.
Okay. Coming back to the equipment, the technology that you use.
I went somewhere else. Okay.
No, I love
equipment is a very integral part of cinematography. The cinematographer has to decide well in advance before starting a film. So it's based on the film which you're shooting. This movie, okay, it's all beautiful tracking shots. Then I will be using a GFM dolly or a Panther. That will be my part of my equipment. If the movie is an action, suppose camera is going to run, you got to have a steady cam. Or else you want to shoot with the gimbal with low and high level of filming. Or it's going to be shot with the drone. These decisions will come when you read a script. And lensing also depends on, see, I generally read my scripts, get it from the director, read it twice or thrice. That gives you a feel, okay, how to approach this film. Should I shoot in anamorphic or should I shoot in spherical lens? Do I require a bokeh or do I require, should I, this anamorphic will be restricting me to shoot within 3 feet. Should I go like Emmanuel Lubezki, go closer, up close to the actor and shoot? What do I do? Those decisions will come and go. So then we'll decide what lens to go, which camera to go. I vary, see like this movie, entire movie, I shot in completely, Devara I shot in Alexa camera. I loved the camera, I wanted that skin tone, I was trying to go shoot in an entire moonlight and then the water sheen, everything. I want a perfect rendition of color. So I thought Alexa was much better in rendering your skin tone and the background. Everything was, the roll-off was so beautiful and the dynamic range is pretty good. So even for post-production work, it was so beautiful. It depends on your script only. Script will dictate what to do.
Nice, nice. And
one more thing, I'll finish this.
Please.
While we filming Rangasthalam, what happened? The first day of shoot, when we were doing, we saw the test performance. Then I told to Suku, shall we just capture this with the gimbal? Gimbal, nobody used gimbal, just it came. We saw in the net and all, on equipment called gimbal. We can swing it around, move it around, go like this. Because with the Steadicam, you're only in this much height. Whereas a gimbal can go fully low and fully high, put it on a tracking vehicle, or you can put it on a Jimmy Jeep. You can just put on a bungee rope, swing it, all those things are there. But then we don't know how to use. I thought, let me try in this movie. Not because to test the equipment. I felt when Charan, the people, the performing, automatically when the camera goes closer to them, they start, when he's a deaf, he automatically, the hand goes, or you're conscious about camera. Suggested Suku, shall we just capture this, Sukuna? Brother, super brother, let's try. Then it was a trial shoot only. He told me, you shoot today, if you don't like, again we'll do tomorrow. We never told the actors. We do all these kind of things from Arya days. So it happens in the house where Charan comes, he goes to the kitchen, talks to the mom, then comes the dad, goes down, talks to the brother and all the stuff. I captured from distance, then Suku saw the footage and so camera was very unobtrusive. and he got the right performance. Sharon he was not conscious about camera. Not only him. When the camera comes up close and shoots, you need to be really, that too, performing such a difficult character. Exact high angle, all those things. Now with this gimbal, when I captured the moment, Suku told, brother, this is the thing. We cracked it. For the entire movie, we're going to use gimbal.
Wow.
That happened that way.
Super, sir. We wanted to talk about Enthiran sequence also. Enthiran climax sequence, because it was shot on film, right?
Yes.
And because that Enthiran sequence, it involves like hundreds of Rajinis. And I'm seeing filmmakers flaunt that, like even recently also, we are seeing filmmakers flaunt about using dual action and all. They're proudly saying that over 2 characters and all. I don't see what's the big deal in it when we have something like Enthiran, which used like what? Like multiple
16 years back, that.
Yeah.
Actually, Shankar sir narrated me the script. It was an interesting script. I generally forget as a cinematographer first when I hear the narration. Then he came to the second half. He told me 100 Rajini. I got excited. Being a Rajini fan, I thought, okay, 100 Rajini. In theatre, 2 Rajini itself, people go berserk. When you see 100 Rajini, people are going to go mad. But I forgot I'm a cinematographer. How to execute it? It's not an easy job. Then, after complete narration, how about the 100 Rajini as me? So it's very exciting. Let's sit, crack the idea. You, me, VFX supervisor Srinivas Mohan, we can sit and sort it out. Either we use a motion control to do this, or we go multiplayer cloning, or use the mannequins. We use a lot of technology in that. That's how it happened. Before Robo, I shot Vaaranam Aayiram. That was a dual role. That was a good experience for me because I put the camera, Gautam Menon, me was standing next to the camera. Surya came. He performed the son's character. After 1 hour, he went inside. He changed father's get-up and he came back. He was uneasy, like, came here, brother, sorry. I can't get into the group of a 45 years old man immediately. I don't have a tummy. I don't have a difference. Just changing my clothes, a little bit of hair doesn't save. We use a motion control camera because the motion control rig to come and set up itself is a pain. It was taking 2.5 3 hours to set up each shot because I need to give the moves. The camera one starts from here, then goes here, comes down, then the second dialogue here, third dialogue, it goes and stands here. So program it. Suppose artists do a wrong timing, again one more. It's a mechanical process, but then there was no other option to do. Then Gautam and Surya came to me, shall we do this son alone and father later? Oh, that's painful. That too, he's got a lot of outdoors. When? After 5 months. Shoot the son now, father's role after 5 months. Your lighting will vary. Summer, winter, everything will change. Your leaves will go back, background, everything will change. So, how to shoot? That helped me a lot. After a while, we enjoyed the process of double action. Sometimes I took my camera and handheld and did double action.
You got so used to it.
And I simulated, generally when we are shooting double action, they put a soft light and easily the cinematographers escape. But since it's a nice scene interaction within father and son, I tried to get some hard light, dapple light, leaf shadow falling, those kind of thing. In a double action, repeating after 6 months with your notes. And that time I used film cameras only. Those are all analog. You don't have a metadata. Now the digital camera, metadata, you have your ISO, your focus distance, everything. You have it, a camera report, which you can recreate after this. But this was like no metadata.
Manually,
you have to write down. The camera was 5 feet 4 inch distance away from Surya, and this everything has to be done. I did that exercise. That helped me in doing Robo.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sir, 2 and 100, the number is
again.
Yeah,
it was a tough task, and we cracked the idea how to go about it. So with the motion control camera, only the rig, motion control rig, we can do only 2 shots or 3 shots a day. So with such a big ensemble combination, so much of actors and budget, we can't, your budget will go 3 times. You're only using 3. It will go for one sequence, will go for 30 days. So after a point, I started using Murugan trolley. Regular trolley pettukoni march and it Murugan trolley because it's a normal metal trolley, not even Panther. We started giving marks, even sound also, dialogue we record, we play it, and then started doing it. So it was
for each character that you see on screen.
It was a pain. And the 100 Rajini song was very exciting for me. Arima Arima song.
Yeah.
Even now, if we see, it's a goosebump because filming with film negative was so tough. Now, in digital, you're able to see the image easily. That decision was mine. Like Shankar sir asked me, what do we do? Do we go with the digital? Because Red One camera, it got launched and it was 1 year old in the industry. Shall we shoot Robo in Red One? I did a couple of tests with the film camera and Red One. No way it could match the film dynamics. The dynamic range of a negative was somewhere else. Whereas with the Red One camera, your highlights got clipped. And I was not confident because the reason is it didn't hold. We had multiple layers. We shouldn't try. I told Shankar, you just blindly, okay, DOP has decided film, that's it. But the film helped me a lot. The VFX people also appreciated. I dedicated an assistant and we did some 3,000, 4,000 pages of camera report for the film.
Okay.
That 100 Rajni, I'll tell you, during these days, how the VFX industry used to be. A cinematographer shoots and it goes to post-production house. It comes to you as a composite image. And whatever they give, that's the final result. We'll not have anything to play around with your colors or prime secondary colors or adjusting. It will be very, it's a final composite image. You can't play around with. So before starting this movie, I had a very big conversation with Srinivas Mohan. We both vibe very well. We shot a lot of commercials and we got into this movie. Then let us set a discipline in industry because cinematographers never get in touch with the VFX industry. So we set up why Hollywood films are looking better than our VFX. Why can't we deliver? Because in a scene with 10 shots, one VFX bad shots will completely ruin your
experience.
Scene.
Yeah.
But when you see a robo, you don't know which is a VFX, which is live. Shot it so well. That is due to the meticulous planning and execution. That's what I can say. If I talk about that, will be going for one session. Maybe not now.
So back then, the cinematographers didn't have the final say in what the image would look like if a VFX element was involved in it.
Yeah, that was a transition period. No, negative people are used to just give it to the VFX and keep quiet. They didn't have the knowledge. Cinematographers never had the knowledge to interact with the VFX company or tell to the VFX supervisor what to do, how to do. See, generally what happens, you give a footage to a company, you give multiple, like Robo was given to 25 companies. We don't know each company what they're doing. To finish in given time, they may downres the quality.
Right.
You give a 4K footage, they'll downres to 2K or HD, work on the thing and just give and get money back also. But we didn't work in that kind of cheap companies. But I'm telling you, in the last moment when you throw pressure, the resolution starts reducing. So I started setting up a discipline. Okay, we give EXR files where you get back the same EXR. A lot of discipline set into it. So that's the thing people are following even after 16 years.
Superb. Now how, because Devara, your latest work, it involves extensive VFX work, right? So by now, how comfortable are you with VFX and its integration?
No, it's always a learning curve. Every day new technologies come in, it's keep on growing. But this experience really helped me to decide immediately what to do, how to do. So when you're doing a VFX movie, it's a different ball game altogether. You need to decide everything much before, right? Your previous or your storyboarding, whatever has to be decided earlier. Then you need to call the VFX supervisor. VFX supervisor needs to call the companies whom are dedicating the job. We need to have a roundtable conference where we decide everything, bounce ideas, a lot of brainstorming happens. Then it will go on a nice path. Otherwise, putting a green screen, shooting it, giving to company, and then end you see something else, you get shot.
Yeah.
That's what used to happen. So when you set a discipline in the beginning, it will be nice. This movie, when Shiva Garu narrated me, I like his dialogues and the kind of feel what he narrated. Everybody is a beast, Mirgalu, all those things, that the characterization, it's a different place altogether, different clan, all those things. But then I go well deep into the script. I read it. But the setting is happening not 2000 years or 200 years back. It's 1989, 1990. So people have to have pant shirt. It has to be grounded. At the same time, these are different clan. So a lot of responsibility. You can't just make it very fictionish and make it like a different visual. It has to, I had to make my visual more naturalistic.
Realism.
Realism kaadu. Realism is the wrong word, I'll say.
Okay.
It's a naturalism. Realism, see, I tried a moonlight in this movie. Okay. To give the mystery only, I tried that moonlight in the beach, because when the light comes from behind the camera side, the ocean doesn't look great for me. I got the moon from behind. The moon is in frame, the shimmer which it creates in the water. These were all decided before even I went to a shoot.
Okay.
So the decision making is very important. And the companies also, I had suggested them, even the VFX supervisor, Uganda did a fabulous job. Suggested to the producers, let's go with the DNEG. They are one of the masters. Originally, I suggested Scanline. They are the people who did Avatar and all.
Right.
And by the time we spoke, they started committing some other project and they couldn't do. DNEG is a wonderful company. We had some nice, fabulous output. Only thing, you will get the best output when you plan and execute and revert back to them, tell your corrections once, twice, thrice, then take it back. You get a good visual. This movie also, even if you spend another 3 more months, you will get a better visual in terms of VFX. But since even I had a good experience, the release date was announced. In 1 month, day and night, tried to push and work, and we got a output.
What was that 1 month like?
See, basically, when I go for a color grade, I'm pretty strong in that, very faster, because on set I decide 80%, 90% my visual, how it should look. I don't come and tamper it and do, later stage. I plan pretty well. That takes only 10-15 days. I can get my entire movie's look and set it well. But you have nearly 3,000 VFX shots. Every scene it will come. The fire is not good, send it back. Suppose matte is not nice, we tell the VFX. He talks to the company, get it back. So a lot of issues, since we have experience, we can find out in a frame what are the mistakes. This could have happened much before if the companies give earlier. You dedicate a job to a company, the company has to set a deadline. Okay, 3 months I need, 6 months I need. They need to give it back to us. 3-4 times it happens. But suddenly when they push it in the last moment, but our name also is in stake.
Yeah.
So we need to deliver. That's the reason this 30 days of hard work. Though color grading only is my process, setting up and getting a movie, one bad shot can kill an entire movie's look. That's the reason.
So color grading with VFX shots, it's an additional
That's
challenge.
a big burden, challenge.
Okay. And a lot of underwater sequences, right? That also must have been one hell of an experience. How was that like?
In this film, when Shiva Garu narrated me, he told 3 action sequence happens in a sea, mid-sea, in night effect. That's a complicated one. When I shot one Nenokkadine in Thailand, when you put the camera in a, say for example, in a straight light condition, immediately the boat turns and comes to a front light. And they say 5, 6, 7, 8 immediately turns because of the wave pattern, all those
winds.
It's not easy to do a scene and all. So I suggested them, this has to be done, that too night effect, taking artists into the beach, it's dangerous, and getting those lights, rigging, rope and all, it's humanly not possible. Let us do the way Pirates of Caribbean or Life of Pi, those kind of technology. And we had this brainstorming session where even production designer Sabu Garu, we all sat together. Then they were suggesting me outdoor film city. There's a huge tank where they did Marekar and Ponniyin Selvan and all they shot. But I told, we cannot create that mood. We are going for a different world altogether. Just with some flat diffusion cloth and getting a soft light, you can't get that feel. So let us put in an indoor floor. Oh, indoor, how long you want the floor length, they asked me. It should be 200-250 feet. Only one floor in Asia, Ramoji Film City. Prabhas Garu blocked for 6 months. So, okay. Then spoke to the producers. Enthiran and Yosada, they really cooperated. And then to achieve this, then meanwhile I started searching from my point of view. Belgium, there was a studio. In Germany, one studio is there. Underwater, overwater. But again, your budgets are going to go higher. Plus, taking all these men there, it's not only Enthiran, you're taking everybody to the location, it's a big process. And told them, let us construct here. They built a huge 200 feet floor with 150 feet width and the 5 to 500 feet depth. We completely concreted it, waterproofed it. We started putting boats on it. We were moving boats inside. And the camera was also, I started playing with the camera. Put on a cable cam, moving the camera. If it was that film city area, the boat would have been static, only the camera will be moving. You will not get what you intend. You're trying to create a world. So the first glimpse, everybody understand what I meant to say. Especially director really, whenever I suggest something, he immediately understood. Let's go in DOP's route. That's what he felt. And Sabugar also did a fabulous job. The boats were looking real. He started creating a tide pattern. The waves which enter the floor, it's a test shoot we did, because the wave doesn't come from, because there was only one entrance, they put a JCBs and all, the water was coming like this. By the time it reaches the artist, it slows down, but we need to come like that and go. So how to achieve this? All discussions were going. Then I suggested Sabugaru, he told me, if you put only frontal, it will come, but I cannot do that. I told, you put it in the frame. When the camera is here, just opposite angle, put 2 JCBs, hit it. We'll paint it blue. I can swing a blue cloth and cover that. Don't worry about it. I'll talk to the VFX company. So once it pumps the water, you're here, the waves come to you like that. Beautifully it comes. Apart from this, we started putting some Yamaha. Sabugar started putting Yamaha motors, the sides. So this will be faster. The sides will come like that and go. But the difficult part is lighting. Water is highly reflective. When you hit a light on the water, artists can become dark and silhouette, and the sequence itself is very tough. So we had to manipulate what will be the exposure. Okay, this 2 level I want to have a fill. The back soft is going to be this exposure. All this, my assistants did a fabulous job. Adit, Akhil, Pavan, Sarapalli, all of them are here. Raju, they did a fabulous job.
Superb.
And then, actually, my son just finished his studies in Vancouver Film School. He told, I'm going to take a 3 months break. When he saw me shooting this one, he immediately came and joined. This is excitement.
He worked on
this film actually. So that's, even I was excited. The kind of massive set. But I never started putting a lot of frontal light and making it regular cinema. There also tried to play with light and shade. I think that's the look which you're seeing now.
Yeah. And the underwater action?
Yeah. That was a very tough one. Because in Sye Raa, we shot some 3 days of work. Any movie, even one Nenokkadine, we shot on 1 or 2 days in the underwater tank in Kapoli, in Pune, near Pune. But we needed some 30 days of work. So taking entire actors, we don't know how the underwater is going to be there, how the actors are going to be acclimatized. So I suggested, let us build a tank here. The producers built a tank. But then I told them, you can, instead of going and shooting there for 30 days, might become 50 days of all, we don't know. The reason, when a person jumps into a water, even he may be a stunned guy, when he goes below 20 feet, he might get bleeding in the ears also. Only when with the pressure, he has to get acclimatized. It has to be shooting friendly, it has to be lighting friendly. It's not a day effect. Generally, most of the time, they shoot in day effect in an underwater sequence. Because the sun comes from top, they try to use the sunlight and easily shoot. This is completely a night effect sequence. I have 3 night effect sequence with the bomb blast happening over the water. Under the water, the fire has to come in.
Different light again.
Different light. Yeah. And the chaos, the mayhem happens underwater. The camera has to move around. And we are trying to hit lightning, we hit them up. So all these had to be planned very meticulously and executed. It's a trial and error. Even for me, I enjoyed the process of doing this. I had to rig some 40, 50 lights on intelligent lights only, so that I can have every shot. If I say dim, bright, if I go and put on the light, it's going to kill time. So completely, I had a vortex light. I had rigged the light called vortex. It's a new generation lights. Powerful, punchy LED lights, where you can play with the color temperature. I can convert it into lightning or a fire source, connect to a DMX board, all these things. And then we had a good underwater person. Operator? His name is Operator. Okay. He's basically a scuba trainer.
Okay.
So he had his entire scuba team in the pool. So they were behind the camera. If anybody has any problem, immediately they go with the oxygen cylinder, they take them up. So it's a very done safely, very, very safe environment. We did that. But then what happens when shooting with water? After 5 minutes, the water becomes murky. Your depth of field goes. When you're able to see my face and the person 5 feet behind, immediately when the water becomes murky, even 2 feet cannot be seen.
Visibility
goes. So we had a proper what do you say, recycle plant, filtration plant going, 3 plants were going. And it was in cold season we were shooting. We put a temperature also, temperature control thing. It was so tough to shoot. I told them to completely, not me, the scuba guys, underwater guys told, detergents undakudu. When you're having a wardrobe and clothes, we pre-washed everything without any detergent. They wear the cloth, they get into the water, and too much makeup also will come into the water. There will be lots of problem. And the water which they pour in also, what happens, if it is a bore well, you take it from a bore well or a metro vehicle comes, the water quality varies. Sometimes the water becomes greenish, sometimes bluish. It was not so consistent. Though we do filtration, the color temperature was varying. I am playing with fire, skin tone. Again, water quality changes, the consistency is not there. But I thought, okay, let's manipulate in post-production the change in water. So it was a tough situation to do. Somehow we completed. Solomon Master did the underwater and overwater rigging and everything he did. He did a fabulous job in the sequence. It was a tough process, but I generally shoot very fast. That helped the production very well. In deciding certain things, I don't take much time. When I enter a set, 15 minutes only I take to light up, not light up, to decide a light, where it has to come, what will be the exposure, what is the contrast. Because otherwise, most of the time what happens, many cinematographers, they switch on all lights, then switching it off, then come to one light. You decide your light angle and your exposure, then that's it, you can go on a fly.
So all the lights had to be placed outside only, no?
No, what we did inside. Inside in the sense above the pool.
Okay.
It's a massive tank, underwater tank. We completely had truss and covered it with black cloth. It's a night effect. So I asked them to put completely with the black cloth and covered the entire thing. Started, this is the swimming pool. Completely I rigged the lights from top.
Okay.
Here I had that moonlight coming with the M90 lights. And then the firelight was coming from top. Massive planning as the execution. It's nice.
And you had already decided the frames, which angle the frame would be.
Exactly.
So the operator knows where he has to stand.
100%. Even stunt masters asked me, sir, what are we doing? Should we go for the mid shot or long, or where do you want the fighters to come? That was because it was a key decision where my light is there. I can't light 360 degree for this and wasting time. I suggested them, don't go 360 in the water. Wherever you go, it's going to be illusion. So wasting time because actors to go swim, by the time they reach, it's boring. It has to be faster. So a lot of learning also. It was a learning curve for me also in this movie.
What was the most challenging part of this film?
Like every sequence was tough actually. In fact, the talkies were not easy because they were generally, even Shivagaru doesn't like too much of, I love to shoot a steady cam or gimbal or movement camera. He wanted a dialogue oriented thing. That's why the scenes were staged for the dialogue. See, every director will have their own this thing. But he never, he gave me full of freedom in terms of angle, lensing and all. But he doesn't move his actors much. Because his dialogues are very powerful and he wanted that. I stayed with that only.
Nice. And we wanted to know this. This is a discussion that we often have when I'm sitting and talking with my fellow film buffs or even my colleagues. We have this doubt when we say a Mani Ratnam visual or an S.S. Rajamouli visual or a Sukumar visual. We want to know, like, be it the staging or the visual, generally, how much of it is the cinematographer's perspective and how much of it is the director's perspective?
It's basically a collaborative process, okay? The cinematographer who is on board should understand the director's vision or the story. Some directors may be visually strong. Some directors, they'll be strong with the script and dialogue. So we need to see which is the thing. Then when we need to help them to translate their script. They would have written a script for 2 or 3 years. But bringing it to screen is a cinematographer's decision. And then helping them to how to achieve it. See, when you say in Devara, Yarra Samudram, this place, it's so, but how to get it? You understand?
Yeah.
So where the light comes, what kind of visual, a cinematographer should pre-visualize it. Of course, a director can also pre-visualize. When the combo strikes well, it's really good. With me and Suku, when I read a script, I understand, it goes like that.
Nice. Like, who are some other filmmakers that you have this rapport with?
Gautam Menon, Bala. Gautam Menon and me were both are spontaneous. He's one spontaneous filmmaker. He will narrate you the scene, then leave it up. Then it's like I told many times, with Gautam Menon, he likes to shoot in one take only. He says it's a virgin take. The first take is the best take. So if you go more takes, the actors will lose their concentration. So we being creators or technician, cinematographer, I have to be in the first clip waiting for the catch. Immediately, in first take when the catch comes, you have to take it. That's the thing we have to be. We have to be very ready. And in Vaaranam Aayiram, we both vibed very well. We both worked under Rajiv Menon. He was an assistant director, I was an assistant cameraman. I was supposed to work in Kaka Kaka, but somehow I went to some other movie and we couldn't get. We worked in Vaaranam Aayiram and we vibed really well. See, the director did not say what lens or where to put the light or what. It's basically the understanding. Once you start understanding, it's a sync. Like how it happened with Steven Spielberg and Janusz Kamiński. Steven Spielberg follows the old Hollywood classic way of shooting. The shot division has to be precise, a long shot, a overversus or the close-up, a lighting has to come through a window, you need to have a fill. Any cinematographer who shoots in Spielberg's film, the cinematography looks same those days. Because studios were deciding what to do, how to do and all. But when Janusz Kamiński came into his life in Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan, he told Spielberg, come on, you can go 360. We are shooting a war film, I'm ready. How do you hide your lights? No need, I'll do it. So when the set design was happening, the cinematographer completely designed his lighting scheme. They put it on the ground, concealed in the ground, put a plank, and everywhere on the set you had a points where you can plug in and use your lights.
Oh.
So that helped. And Spielberg also was not tied. He didn't have restriction. Being a creator, when you were just leaving him loose, he will try to capture a nice expression. He will try to capture a bomb, whatever. So that was so. And the collaboration is still going. 20-25 years. Still, he is working only with Janusz.
Yeah.
Because they discuss and decide a lot of things.
Beautiful. Sir, if somebody had to get into filmmaking or cinematography, what are some books that you would suggest?
I mean, those days when you used to study, we used to read these 5 C's of cinematography, Gerald Millerson books and all those stuff. Now, YouTube, everything is there. These kids can really learn from YouTube. Only thing, you learn from YouTube, but again, the practical experience is necessary to some extent. Writers, maybe they can watch movies and directly come and execute, but still, especially working on a bigger films, a bigger magnitude, big heroes, and with so much of technicalities, working as an assistant cameraman really helps them a lot. They learn a lot. Like I told you, this Moonlight, nobody will teach you. In underwater, you will not have a budget to take your camera inside the water, seeing all these things. My assistants felt so happy. They learned so much in this movie. One film taught them like 5 films experience it gave them. And my intention also is like every 2 years, I want to create 2 Telugu cinematographers.
Nice.
The reason is there are a lot of directors who study in America. Here they become directors, screenwriters are there, but less cinematographers. The reason is they're lacking in film institute. Number of film institutes are less here, or qualified institutes are less, and their exposure is not there. Hyderabad or Andhra, the people are more passionate about movies, I know that. But why lesser cinematographers? The reason is lesser education. People have to be qualified. They have to come from Viscom or Masscom or anything. They need to study and then come to the industry, work with a cinematographer. With the experience, they can come. No, this is a conscious decision I took. Like 13 of my assistants have become cameramen.
Yeah.
But here, for the past 10 years, I've been shooting in Telugu. I decided last year, I have to create two guys as a cinematographer and send them out.
Super. Let's hope that happens. Super.
I can introduce my assistants, okay?
Yeah, please, if you can.
Adit, put your hand. He is my son, Adit. He's an AC. Next is Pavan. That is Sanapalli Shiva. Where is Akhil? Okay, he's in the restroom. Okay, Raju. Raju's got a good experience in industry. He's a very nice, sweet guy. He cooperated and worked really well. And my gaffer, Guna, I have to thank him. For the past 12 years, he's been working with me as a gaffer.
Superb.
Yeah.
Superb.
And one more thing. When I did Robo, what I did, I had experienced assistants. When I started Robo, I had all newbies only.
Okay.
Yuvraj, Dinesh, all new
Dinesh
boys.
Krishnan.
Dinesh Krishnan.
Okay.
They became independent cinematographers. This movie, it's the first film for Adit, Pavan, Sanapali, Akhil, everybody. These guys, it's the first film for them.
Superb. All the best, guys.
And they did a fabulous job. They were very sincere. They come out with they learn, that learning urge is there.
How do you keep learning?
I constantly see, for me, the stress buster is I keep reading. After a strenuous day of shooting, at least for 30 minutes, I read something or watch video, I feel happy. Now that my son also joined me now, evening after the shoot, he'll just come, Appa, that negative, when you're using film negative, what is this? Something that discussion will happen. So that really helps me a lot. This movie also, for the next movie, when I was discussing, he also gave me a lot of clues. What is happening around in Hollywood, all those things.
Superb, superb, superb.
The cinematographer has to be young in mind. That's more important.
Mind.
Yeah, it's always no. You have to think new. You have to move around with young people. Then you can achieve your goal.
You are also young only, sir. Mike, guys, who wants to go first?
So good evening, sir. I'm Manohar.
Hi, Manohar.
The first time I came across your name was while watching Enthiran. Okay, but all through these years, I've been watching your movies and following them. One of my favorite shot was the Sye Raa Narasimha Reddy, where Megastar Chiranjeevi sir is being hanged, and later he goes on to kill the Britisher. Right? In the beginning, he's addressed as Renati Suryudu. Okay. In the climax shot, we can see him after his head is beheaded. He goes on to beheads the British officer, and we can find the sun on Chiranjeevi sir's head. So, how did you and Surendra Reddy sir plan this shot actually?
See, generally, I told you, when I read a script, I make some markings. This scene has to be shot like this. Sometimes it changes. We keep on changing ideas and evolving. Improvisation happens. So this sun also was planned well in advance, based on the dialogues also.
Thank you, sir. Actually, that's
when the head goes off, the flare comes in. So that's a poetry, visual poetry. It's not just a capturing image. That visual poetry hits you hard. Now you're talking after 5 years or 4 years, you're talking about the shot that impacted you. That's it.
Actually, sir, I've always wanted to know how, because it's one of my favorite shots.
Oh, thank you.
Many might not discuss, or few of my movie buff friends might not discuss about, but whenever I watch it and while watching the television or watched in the theater, I always wondered, beautiful shot. It's bringing the Renati Suryudu aspect in reality. So I really love that shot. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. I generally, thank you. I generally follow dialogues. Usually, even when I came for Arya with Sukumar, I asked him dialogues. Then he asked me, will cinematographer has dialogue paper? I told, he knows I'm a good cinematographer, but then why dialogues? He explained me the scenes. When we went for the short division, then he understood what is the impact of a cinematographer. Because when you understand the dialogues, immediately the camera will go close or back or suggestion, where you need not show the face. You can shoot through a person objectively or go subjectively or point of view. All these things can be done when you read the dialogues. After that, Suku, like a heroine, he'll give me English translation. Every film, hey, Sriman, did you give to sir the book? Then he'll ask me, yesterday, he knows I will understand every scene. So I think every cinematographer needs to understand a scene. It's not just beautiful images. They don't call you to take some nice shots. You need to bring your life's experience into a film, try to translate it or improvise the filmmaking.
Thank you, sir. Eagerly waiting for Devara, looking how you pulled off those scenes in a sea backdrop in those night times. Eagerly waiting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Sandesh, sir.
Hi, Sandesh.
Actually, this might be a non-technical question, but I am very curious about how much influence do cinematographers or how much say do cinematographers actually have in having a particular shot in the final edit of the film. Like if you like a particular shot and maybe it's not in the final edit, how much influence do cinematographers actually have to get it into the final edit?
Yeah, that basically depends on the trust of the director and all those stuff. And it's basically the understanding. That's what I can say. Even I have lost some nice shots. When we filmed with 3 cameras, you might have done a beautiful cable cam shot and very immersive shot. But then that shot been chopped, again close up, reaction shots. This would have come. I've cried many times. It has happened in my life. But with Suku alone, I'll tell Suku that's not, brother, go to the editing, check me which is not good. I'll go tell him, Suku, this shot, this scene. Hey, sir, just remove. That is because he blindly trusts me. It's not like I won't say, I am a script lover, storyteller. I want to tell the story in the best possible way. I don't just ask him for a beautiful shot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
My question is, sir, it's a classic question where many people ask cinematographer, what is good cinematography?
Good cinematography is how the cinematographer translates a director's vision, a story, how you properly tell a story. If you're a still photographer, the beautiful images are just enough for you. But when you're a cinematographer, every image has to tell a story. Since I came from an advertisement background, I know in 10 shots or 30 seconds, you know, tell a story. So each shot is very important. You just can't put one insert, go out and come back. It's not that. Movie, you have 2.5 hours, but yet every shot is very important. Even one reaction, should I cut to a close-up or should I put a long shot? All those things are very important.
5 favorite Indian films. Visually stunned you.
So visually, I'm a fan of Balu Mahendra sir. Very naturalistic visuals he used to give. And Santosh Shivan was an inspiration. He was a master in lighting those days. And my guru Rajiv Menon. If you watch Bombay, it's one of the best visuals I can say even now. Ravi K. Chandran has done in Black, the movie Black. PC sir. I joined Film Institute just seeing PC sir's cinematography. Agni Nakshatram, Nayagan, all these movies, Geetanjali. After watching only, I joined film school. So they were inspirational. But after, growing up, I saw this, suddenly one day I saw this Subrato Mitra, Satyajit Ray's cinematographer. In those days, in 1950s, with the slow speed, negative black and white stock, he did some extraordinary lighting. Those days, I know when I studied in film school, we used to use only baby, senior, junior, all hard light. When you put a light for the artist, it'll be burning. Even when I shot Kaidi 150, I used very soft and silky lights. Chiranjeev Garu asked me, light entena, are you going to put more light? No, sir, this is my light. So even that transition period, because after 9 years, he came to film, no? Suddenly digital made a big difference. So the Subrata Mitra, cinematographer of Satyajit Ray, you can compare him with Sven Nykvist. His lighting was so beautiful. See, those days, Satyajit Ray movies, the budget was less, and the exposure of Indian cinematographers to Hollywood or Europe was less. But even during those times, what he did, the scene was happening in the center courtyard of Agraharam house. The skylight used to come. So he wanted to create a skylight. What he did, he asked the production designer to paint a plywood with full of white paint. Started aiming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, come on, hitting more lights. The light bounced off the thing. It looked like a beautiful skylight. See, now I can do anything. Sky is the limit. Those days, trying to not put even a lot of Hollywood cinematographers put a hard light on a face those days. He tried to give that soft bounce light. That's a beautiful thing. And even foreign cinematographer respected him for his work.
Nice.
Who is that one director you want to work with? One director.
Thumbnail.
I like the directors whom I've been working with.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You didn't give thumbnail content.
Sir, in cinematographer's life, even art director plays a crucial role, sir. Like how you maintain rapport with them, and sometimes in shoot time, it may kill few scenes like to maintain the setup and everything. Like you have any pre-plan for those things, which will take few time for that, and how you plan for that, sir?
Yeah, production designers or art directors play a very vital role in movie making. So, for a good cinematography or creating a mood, they also help in creating a beautiful production design, the atmosphere, ambience. The cinematography, the filmmaking is a collaborative process. Director, DOP, production designer, costume designer, we have to sit together. Now, the filmmaking is different from what it was 20 years ago. Even for Rangasthalam, I got Ramakrishna, the art director, and his wife. She's also a very good art director. He made them sit, and the costume designer Deepali. I told them what is the scheme I'm planning. This for this brownish tone. These are the do's and don'ts. You don't use this bright green. Don't use that pink. These are the colors I don't want. We are trying to go more grounded and earthy feel. So those decisions came. Once I did this, it became easy for them to follow a route. So whenever he puts a set that will be in a brown tone, or the houses in 80s, I told Rama, can you just try more realistic? No problem, sir, he told. He went to Rajahmundry, bought a lot of olden windows, door frames. The second-hand windows, they sell it in the roadside. He brought those windows, put it for hero house, Rangamata house, heroine's house, all these houses. So those things added, it looked more real, the effort which they put. Likewise, costume designers also, they also play a vital role. So one thing is you need to set a scheme, you need to talk together, set a scheme, then it will be beautiful journey. Otherwise, you will be expecting suddenly they'll put one red color in the background, totally will go off. When you go to DA, that will be alienated. So all these things happen. We need to talk much earlier and prepare for a film.
So one small silly doubt, sir. Like which I used to have in my childhood, even still I have, sir. Generally, DOP will shot the film. They used to carry some basic outfits like some shorts full of pockets, sleevelets, jackets. Like, is this regularly pattern or like what, sir? You
No,
used to maintain the same, or else I didn't see any backup skills. Or
now
something like
these guys are too stylish. They're not doing that. I would love to have that because when I was assisting Rajiv Menon, I used to have a pouch. I used to wear like a bangle, the gaffer tape, red tape, all the tapes like this, because when the heroine comes to the mark, tuck, run there, put a tape, that's a mark. Now these guys are waiting. Sorry to say this, I'm just joking, okay? Yeah, because when you wear that kind of gear, you can have a scissor, cutter, everything in your gear. I used to have my foot kit also when I go for shoot. Now off late has been reduced. In a shoot, you need to have a scissor, the glycerin drop. In a shooting a product shot, you need to have a glycerin, the burette of paper, the equipment, everything we used to have. That's important. Even the dressing also, you need to wear a shoe where your assistant goes, bumps into a light stand, he doesn't break his leg. It's like when you go to Dubai, they wear a helmet, they wear the caterpillar shoes on a construction site. Likewise, we also face many accidents and everything you don't know. They say beware of flying objects. It will come from top, one cutter stand or paper. So,
got it, sir. It's for equipment.
thank you.
Hi, sir. This is Shashank. So, I just heard that you have shot the whole Devara with Ari, Alexa. So, this is being released in IMAX now. And I feel when we shoot in IMAX and display in the IMAX, it's a different quality. And when we shoot in Ari or Red or whatever it is, and when you're doing the DMR and then sending it, you being a big fan of film, didn't you have a choice of shooting in the film IMAX for the first time?
True, I agree with you. It's a nice question actually. When you shoot with the IMAX camera, with your IMAX lens, the depth of field goes shallow and you get a imagery is something different from what you shoot. This film we shot with the Arri Alexa LF camera. So it's much larger. So generally in theater projection we use 1:2.3539 aspect ratio. So what I did in this movie is, instead of giving it complete in 239, when an action sequence comes, tuck, it opens into full frame. That I did in this movie. I spoke to the IMAX guys.
So it's an open gate.
Yeah, open gate. It'll come to the open gate on a spectacular action.
So runtime, sir, runtime of the full aspect ratio?
No, it goes in 235 because even when you see a Marvel movie or a Dune first part, they use similar thing. So go shoot the scene in 2.35 and then blow it. When a bigger, larger than life action happens, you open and show a full frame. That's what I tried in this. Nobody's done this. First time we are trying. Audience will get excited. See, going inside the water, seeing in a full screen, it's an excitement rather than seeing a 235.
This again might sound silly, but I always have this thing that when you shoot underwater, you shoot from the outside, the tank that you have been telling.
No, we shot 2 tanks. One is completely inside a set with a 50 feet Goda height with a green screen backing. That's for exterior shots where the boats move, the ship is mounted, the camera goes in a cable cam, all those stuff in a bigger floor. This underwater tank is a separate underwater tank. We won't shoot the overwater there. I'll go under the water, get the camera housing into the water with the scuba divers. It's a proper underwater housing we did.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hi sir, I'm Atreya. So my question is more on how to capture the emotion when it's a wide angle and there are multiple actors surrounded in a scene and there is focus only on the center or the side of the frame. So like Rajamouli usually likes to capture the emotion in a motion, and Maniratnam likes to capture it in full frame, like he sets it on face. So let's say if someone wants to shoot in full frame, I mean a long shot, and I want to capture a particular emotion in it. So how difficult it is, and what are the key terms in terms of lighting it while capturing an emotion in a long full length frame?
When you shoot a telephoto lens, then probably the focus might vary. Especially when you're shooting in the anamorphic with a low exposure, then two people are talking, you need to decide which person has got a better dialogue, then shift the focus there and come back.
Okay. So
And also, yeah.
Like I don't want to shift the focus. Like all there are 10 people, all 10 are focusing on a particular part of the frame, and I want to capture all.
No, when you sorry to interrupt you. When you compose 10 people, it's already a wide angle shot. So everybody will come and focus automatically.
My point is how to capture the facial expression of each person clearly, like how we do it in a close-up shot.
No, what you do, even this movie, we always had 2 cameras or 3 cameras. One will be the master camera capturing the event. Another camera who is delivering the dialogue will be punching to a close-up on telephoto lens. So this might be on a Jimmy Jeep moving, that will be on a Panther. That's how we do it.
I have 2 questions for you. Firstly, why you shot Rangasthalam with less greens and more yellows? Because it was very challenging for me and for my friends to adapt that look because there are more greens in our village. And second question is...
I'll finish one by one, so I'll forget.
It was more...
First of all, I like Rajamandri very much.
Yeah, thank you.
We shot Rangasthalam, all the white shots.
No, we used to come for the shoot every day.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was very challenging for me and for my friends also to adapt that look. I thought it will not run in our village because it was the first time there are less greens and more yellows. So whose decision was that? And second question was, at what position you put the camera in one Nenokkadine interval shot? Like there are rack focus, you focus Mahesh Babu and you focus the gun. That was the fastest rack focus I have ever seen in the film. So these are the 2 questions.
Okay, I'll tell you. Rangasthalam was my decision. Generally, I told you in many interviews, boring, but again I'll repeat to you. We have seen Rajamandri as a beautiful lush green with the cornfield, beautiful blue sky, clouds. Yeah. I've been seeing for the past 50-60 years. I didn't want to show that kind of village. I told Suku, shall we just try to change it? Brother, go ahead, because even I want a pure new village. I don't want the same old thing. So I tried that golden brown tone. For that's the reason I went and shot in the early morning against a cornfield. When you shoot a cornfield in a backlit, the browns become so beautiful and nice. And we spread some dust from behind. Always having people with the art department broomstick, they'll put on dust will start coming. Those things we did in that. So the entire movie had a different look. We showed a different Rajamandri altogether.
And second question,
one Nenokkadine, is it? One Nenokkadine, I was doing a lot of handled shot. So when Mahesh Garu puts Kelly Dodge on a toilet and firing him and killing him, cameras, I was just going whatever my mind said. These kind of shots, if I say where to go, how to go, then Mahesh Garu performance, I'll lose him, or Kelly Dodge will lose. It's all the cameraman has to. I told you I follow expression. So when the expression comes, then suppose it goes faster, it goes fast. Then it slow down, I go in that way. It's all in your body. It will say, even I don't know. It will automatically tell you, come on, go. We've been trained that way.
Good evening, sir. This is Sai Vinay.
Hi, Sai.
Sir, my doubt is on what basis you decide a color palette for a film? Is it the genre or the script or the emotion?
Yeah,
So,
everything
I just
decides which genre. That's one important thing. See, when we see one Nenokkadine, the color palette was totally different. After Robo, I came here. I wanted to show a different thing with full hunger was there for me. I left some 5, 6 big movies in Hindi and just came for this movie. They told me 7 months date. I stayed for 27 months for Suku, my friend. Until today, people appreciate one Nenokkadine. Wherever I go, in airport or anywhere I go, this young crowd, they call and say one Nenokkadine was the best work. Every shot they say it's an iconic shot. So in fact, cinematographer Ravi K. Chandran, he was supposed to do Bharatan in Neno. He wanted to see how Mahesh Garu looked in other films. So when he was scrolling through, when he saw this thing, he called me. Andy, this is looking like a Hollywood film, a cinematography. Generally,
true, sir, true.
Generally, cinematographers, they say, you've done a fabulous job, you've done a good job. They don't say Hollywood. Top cinematographer saying it's a Hollywood is a good credit, I think.
While coming to the technical stuff, it is proven that you are the beast. Let us assume that Sukumar sir might not able to make Robo. Shankar sir might not able to make Arya. But Rathnavelu sir can make both films. How do you actually handle different mindsets? That Sukumar sir is quite different and Shankar sir is quite different. I mean, talking about the creative differences. If I work with you as a director and I did not agree with the decisions you made, even though it is beautiful, but still I did not agree. What is your state of mind in that situations? How do you handle that? How do you overcome that?
Yeah, each creator has got his own plus and minus or strength or whatever. When I work with one director, I forget the other director. If I work with Suku, I know what kind of thing. When I go to Shankar sir, I know his short division, his style of working, what he expects. So once you discuss, during discussion process itself, you decide what this movie requires, how we are going to execute. When I try to apply Suku's thing into Shankar, he won't like, or other way. And one more thing for a cinematographer, it's very tough is, I worked with the director Bala. I liked him because he gave me a big break in Setu, which gave a big break for Vikram, me and Bala. But again, I had to do with Nanda. I had to wait for 1.5 2 years. After Setu became a hit, Salman Khan offered me Tere Naam. A lot of movies started coming. I didn't commit any movie, just waited for Bala to do his next movie. One collaboration, it will strike, right? So I worked with him. Then I consciously took a decision. Again, 3 years waiting for a project. Instead, I need to do with more directors, more different kind of, like you told me, work with different directors, different genres. That's how I decided and started working. Vijay's movie Thirumalai I did with a person called Ramana. He's a very good dialogue writer. So that was a different style of visual. When I came to Arya, Suku's poetry was so interesting, fascinating to me. With the Koralal Garu, it's more dialogue strength is there. So everybody's got one strength. Without disturbing their flow, we need to tell the story. It's a tricky portion only. Only your experience will help you. And they also call you for experience only.
When it comes to the creative field, ego will ruin the creativity and the stuff. Have you ever went through this ego and thought this, what the hell, I can direct this particular story much better than the director? Have you ever thought that?
It happened many times. It happens. Any cinematographer, it happens. Once a director accepts it, it's okay. If they don't accept, then end of the day, it's their film. We try to tell them. Some people, they accept, they know, okay, I say why you should do this, why you shouldn't do that. If they think it's correct, then it's okay. They're just going to stick on with their ego. They're going to ruin the film. So I leave it to them. I don't keep fighting or arguing. I tell them in a very sweet way. See, this is the thing. If you use that, your film will look like that.
All the best for that.
Thank you so much.
In one of your social media handles, you have mentioned that you have delivered different formats of content for Devara, such as large format like IMAX 2.35,
IMAX, D-Box,
D-Box. I just want to know about that overseas 2.35 mm in depth, sir, and also
please answer how will those different formats helps the viewer in experiencing the visual in these different formats.
This is one long question. If you go Google and check it up, it's better for me now because
Sir, I couldn't
I'll tell you. I'm
find-
sorry. I'll tell you. Again, you need to see IMAX. It's a full frame. Then when you go to 4DX, you get that experience in the 4D experience. It's all based on the theater and content. Some theaters will play only 235, the regular theaters. Some theater are capable of playing widescreen. And some they'll ask for premium large format. That's also a full length you have to give, 1.9 you have to give. So it varies on the aspect ratio and the place where America has some 60 theaters with the 4DX. So based on the requirement and the money which is coming in, producers, they go for various format.
So about overseas 2.35 mm, sir?
ಇಲ್ಲ అన్ని ఫార్మాట్లో వస్తుంది ఓవర్సీస్ ఎవ్రీ ఫార్మాట్ డేస్ ఆన్ ఏరియాస్.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
థ్యాంక్స్.
Before the Sye Raa Narasimha Reddy, you have like different type of storytelling. So what made you like choose this Sye Raa film? I mean, in terms of lighting and all. So what made you the different, and what was the workshop behind this Sye Raa Narasimha Reddy?
I mean, I generally like to take challenges. See, Suku's film Rangasthalam happens in 1980s. Suddenly, when Surendra Reddy wanted to happen in 1820,
yes, sir.
So without electricity, so you start breaking ahead, try to do okay day effect scene, how do I shoot, night effect shoot, how do I do, and it's all massive setup, not one art film just with few candles. It's a massive setup, and we are doing a big film with Chiranjeevi garu.
So before do you experiment before this or else on this set only?
No, I'll tell you. Generally, after listening to the script, I'll write down a list. So, which primary lights I'm going to go with, something which is complicated, I do a test.
Yeah,
Even for this water sequence, for me to understand that, I will do a test.
Okay, sir.
So, in the test, I will improvise and then lock it for the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I have visited the Sye Raa Narasimha set, sir, once. While shooting this Jagore Narasimha song, in the night time you have shot it, sir. I have seen that, like total the song making and all. So it was like really, I was like 16 years old at that time. So it was for like after coming to photography, I have learned everything about lighting and all. But where now I'm like moving into the cinematography, so I was having that questions. I've seen that all the stuff, sir. So thank you, sir.
We use a lot of fire torches, kakadalu, fires, and sometimes what happened, the fires were creating a hard light on the skin. So I used a small thin diffusion next to the fire. Kakadalu, we had it in hands, and then a soft blue moonlight was there.
He was asking you about the color palette, one guy. So adding to it, we don't see a lot of black and white, and I know it's a commercial movie, but still, I have seen cinematographers. The movie I just recently watched, Carol. It says the story with one color, red. All the colors are there. It's not black and white, but with the red, it's very specific. The story is very much linked to that color if we see in a color format. And
which movie is that?
Carol, sir.
Carol, yeah.
It was in 2015. And even the Kota Factory, the black and white series. So there are very rare things like this. And do you think you would ever do that kind of story with the specific color points?
No, see, it depends on the hero whom you are working with, the director whom you are working with, what kind of film. Those only will decide. Sometimes I would love to shoot in a black and white. Frankly speaking, black and white images are so, I mean, they hit you hard. You can tell a story beautifully. Even Roma was shot in completely in black and white.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, if you tell a director, I want to shoot Enthiran or Ram Charan in black and white, they won't agree. With smaller actors, probably I have the space to do. I enjoy that, but my hands are tied.
Hi sir, this is Anand. So this is from a director's perspective, the question. So some directors, they say that they don't have much idea about the lighting and all that, and we leave it to the cinematographer. We explain the scene and stuff. And there are other experienced or more better understanding directors who are very particular about the lighting and all that. So you've been working with different people, and you mentioned that you have a really good rapport with Sukumar sir, Gautam Menon sir, and stuff. So when you're working with both the sides of the spectrum, so how's your work process like when someone leaves it up to you with the basic idea of the scene and the script versus with someone who are very particular about how the lighting and all should be?
I mean, it's a different ball game. See, some directors will have a strength of communicating the story or the shot to you. Some people will be only a dialogue writer or a scene writer. So we need to help them.
So does the experience also come into play?
100%. Your experience will help them a lot. Just by going and doing cinematography and lighting, I mean, that's your process, that's your work. But you have to take out the shot division, do this, background, all those things. Extra job and stress for the cinematographer, I know. I've been experiencing that.
Thank you. All the best for Devara.
Thank you so much.
Projects also. Thank you.
I just have two questions, one for you and one for your assistants. First of all, I would like to know at few moments where you feel like, yeah, I picked the right buddy as my assistant, and same, I want to know like a few moments where you felt like, yeah, I picked the right mentor. So we'll start with you, sir.
See, the first thing when I select an assistant, I don't see the show reel and then what they've done immediately. I see their interest, first of all. They're passionate about movie. Just see, 90% of the people who come to industry don't face success. It's very tough to get into the movie. I don't discourage. It's even consciously I came to cinema. In my family, nobody's there in the film field. I was the first generation person, cinematographer in my entire family. So when you work hard and with sincerity, you can achieve it. I see that as a first point. The interest in them, their sincerity, and I don't want anybody who's got a big knowledge and then they are coming to learn from you. So the discipline, and these younger generation kids are very smart. They immediately Google, they check, they come and discuss. They're very, very nice to work with. And they learn very quickly.
Hello, this is Pawan. When I was joining it, sir, I don't have much knowledge about cinematography. But sir used to clear all the doubts, even though when he is so busy with the actors also. Like, he is not like other cinematographers. He used to be with us and he used to take care of us like his own kids, and like we used to feel very lucky to be his assistant. So thank you so much, sir. So Randy sir gave me life in the industry and he used to treat me like his own kid. And every day he used to clear all of the doubts, and he used to ask us, whatever the problem you have, just come to me and explain me. So other DOPs in the industry, no one would do like that. Only Randy sir can do this in this industry. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for giving an opportunity and believing in us so much, sir.
Thank
Once
you,
again,
Pawan.
thank you.
See, it is my responsibility to take care of you guys, okay? You're all kids for me. So, guide you in a proper way.
So thank you so much for accepting this.
Thank you, Ram.
Guys, thank you so much for bearing with us. Thank you so much. I'm genuinely sorry for all that rain hiccup and all. We'll be very careful from the next time to Rekul shed leni chota cheyadaniki we'll try. So thank you so much. And for the inconvenience, I'm genuinely sorry. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you so much, guys, for this overwhelming response. I see so much of enthusiasm. I love you guys. Thank you.
Taste Daily. Taste the Daily.
Holidays nale adu namma GT Holidays da, South India's #1 travel brand.